lean and look method. It's very, very simple. If you have those automatic mirrors, works like a champ. Otherwise, if you have an older car, you have someone outside that can work with you, that can adjust the mirrors with you. And this is how it works. Demonstration. Okay, you sit in your car like so. Okay, and you tilt your head towards your driver's side window. Now you see your mirror. It's right now I have it in so you can see the sides of the car. You don't want that because now you don't get the greatest areas of dead zones. Dead zones are areas that can't be seen even with the use of mirrors. So how many times you guys are driving out there, my fans, on whether it be the Long Island Expressway, the 495, all right, I-87, 95 coming to Florida, whatever it might be, tooling around in, all right, wherever you might be, and all of a sudden, you know, you're in the middle lane, you put on your right signal, you want to move over to the right, and all of a sudden you hear, and there's a little car there, but you didn't pick him up because your mirrors were trained to see the sides of your car. So where do you think that small car was hiding? On the outside of your mirror. So if you would have had it pulled out more, you would have caught that small vehicle in your dead zone. So what we're going to do right now, if you're sitting in your car, as you see my mirror, I have it on automatic on the left side. You're going to bring the mirror outward, just like this, see? You see it moving, just so you don't see the sides of your car, and stop immediately. Now, tilt your head towards your driver's side, your passenger side mirror, okay, window rather, and bring your mirror up. Let me do it on the right side. And bring your mirror outward. See that? See how it's disappearing? Keep going like that until you don't see the sides of your car, and stop immediately. Now, you'll get the greatest area of dead zones, okay? And I'm telling you, I swear in this. I wrote my article when I did Newsday and interviewed me. They want to know how I did 1 million miles with an 18-wheeler and never had an accident. I said it all comes down to using your mirrors properly. You should be looking at them every 3 to 5 seconds. A lot of people just drive and they look forward. They don't bother looking in the rearview mirror or the outside mirrors. You always got to keep putting a 360-degree circle of awareness around your vehicles at all times, all right? And this is Bobo now, talking off the cuff. Like I said, this is my expertise in driver safety. I've been doing this over 30 years, and I won top award for New York State instructor and the entire nation teaching these driver safety classes, all right? So make sure you do that. Another thing we want to do is make sure you get the big picture out on your window. Keep your eyes scanning, okay? Another thing we want to do is you're coming up to a stop sign, okay? Now, if you do with some people, I'm not saying a lot of people, they think this is a perfect stop. There's nobody here. There's actually a parking lot here, so it's really not an active roadway, so I can more or less show you here. I'm trying to give you some, you see the stop sign here? Okay. If you do this here and go, and a cop is behind you, you're going to get a ticket, because that's what we call a California roll. You fail to execute a full stop at the stop sign. They don't give you half a ticket, folks. Okay? You must stop at a stop sign, look left, look right, look the turn straight through traffic, and look left again. All right? This is what happens if you just more sudden go. This guy going by like that, now you have a collision. Okay? Just remember, 75% of all vehicle accidents occur less than 25 miles from your house. So you can go out for a container of milk and never come back. All right? I always talk about that with my class, especially the wintertime, before you know it's going to be rolling in the New York area, you know, up in north. And the next thing you know, you're going out for container of milk or bread or eggs. Folks, do you really need the bread and eggs and milk? I don't think so. If it's a snowstorm out there, leave your car there, you know, do some cardio. It's good for you anyway. And, you know, use your 2 feet if you really need to go out there for the bread, milk, and eggs. Because it's not worth it to take your vehicle and have a vehicle collision. Because you can be, you know, in a hospital for months on end, or maybe never even come back to I have many, many articles I've taught over the years in my classes, which I call visuals, and I used to collect 3 to 4 newspapers per day between the Daily News, the Post, the Times, Newsday, and I take all the crash articles out of them, whether it be texting, talking on cell phones, eating and driving, drinking and driving, whatever it might be, road raging, I had an article for it, and I made a direct connection with my class when I was teaching driver safety. So basically now I'm just giving you, like I said, some quick tips to help you stay alive, because I do care about all of my fans, even the people that dislike me. I never want to see anybody in a vehicle accident. All right? So again, look left, right, and left, otherwise this happens. Bam. All right, and we have a T-bone collision. T-bone collisions are the worst. Most of the time, you don't walk away from a T-bone collision. Another thing I want to stress big, and I've taught for my accident classes, because I used to run all the accident classes for the Long Island District in the Postal Service. Big thing is if you're following behind my 18-wheeler, okay, I'm in the middle lane, you're behind me. If you're following too close and you can't see my outside mirrors, I can't what? I can't see you. There you go. So back up a little bit. Not back up, but take your foot off the accelerator, and so you follow me at the proper following distance so you can see my outside western mirrors. Now, if you're coming up to an exit and you're in the right lane, I'm in the middle lane, and you want to get off at that exit, do not hang in the right side of any 18-wheeler, because the person driving, chances are you're in the dead zone and we cannot see you. You want to be able to pace with an 18-wheeler. That means be able to look in the cab of the driver, make sure you can see him or her driving, and they can see you so they know you're there. Otherwise, at any given time, as I told my classes, okay, sometimes, especially if it's a rainy day and you got the dirt kicking up in the mirrors, and any kind of road hazard, your mirrors now become obstructed, and the next thing you know, if I decide to move over, I could drive you right into the guardrail, just right off the road. All right, so those are safety tips with an 18-wheeler. If it was up to me, I would have designed, throughways or expressway like in the West Coast in California. My California fans could tell me, where you would have the trucks maybe on the top and the cars on the bottom, because the bottom line, cars and trucks don't mix. They never will. Okay, and they could have saved so many lives if what the engineers would have designed this many years ago, where they would have had the cars on one side on the top, and the cars on the trucks on the top and the cars on the bottom. So, but that's the way it is. That's show business. But anyway, folks, these are safety tips that you need to take. You can't take for granted. Drinking coffee in your car. A lot of people do it. I know you do it. All right. And the fact of the matter is, where did I get the fact of the matter is? But seriously, when you're drinking coffee, if that hot coffee spills on your lap, where's your eyes going? Right into your lap. And the next thing you know, the guy stops in front of you for whatever reason. Now you're going to see what he or her has in their trunk. Okay? What you want to do, the basic rule of thumb is, when you're driving down the road, if you can't see the vehicles ahead touching the pavement, you're driving too what? You're driving too close. All right, so this is the type of defensive driving class that I give my students, and I really enhance a lot, because I have what they call drunk buster goggles that I take out, and which shows various impairments. And I have you walk the line. I throw a football. I have different little games that light up to test your hand coordination and to see how quick you are. I may take someone like is 20 years old, and I'll take someone who's a senior, and I have them do these like video games, but these light games. They're trying to put your finger in it with whatever light color it is before it buzzes out. But the only thing is, you're wearing these impairment goggles. And I tell people, if you can't do this simple task that I have for you today, you magnify that 100 times over on our roads. Okay? So, and especially with texting, I'm big on texting. If you have a high school or anything, a company like that, I can come down and I can give a whole lesson on texting. You're 23 times likely to be involved in a traffic crash with texting. And texting's bad news. And down here, it's not a primary offense, meaning that an officer has to see you first breaking a rule, such as running a red light, failure to signal, and then they can give you a violation, a summons. All right, so that needs to come to the forefront here in the state of Florida. Is amongst Plus a lot of other laws here. I find there's more holes in Swiss cheese in Florida. I love Florida, but they need to step it up a lot. Another thing that gets me, and I've talked about this on my scope before, I love motorcycles, but the bike riders, everybody, I don't want to hear that I'm an experienced bike rider. Everybody should be wearing a helmet. But in this state, up to the age of 21 years old, you have to wear a helmet. After the age of 21, a helmet's not required in this state. All right, and if you're not only this state, but Connecticut, they don't even have any rules as well as for wearing helmets in that state. I mean, that's insanity. All right, I lost a couple of good friends in the Postal Service that were bike riders, and the good bike riders too, and people lost their legs, and it's just horrifying. So please be careful when you're riding out there. You should always wear one of those flak jackets in case your bike gets away from you, man. You get road rash, bad, real bad. Without a jacket, man, you're going to take the whole brunt of that. So these are just safety tips that I talk about with my class. And if anybody wants to book a 4-hour class, please contact me, and through Twitter, Facebook, Bobo Bowie, or on Instagram, Bobo697. So I just hope everybody stays safe out there. And also another thing Toyota has here, I'm sure a lot of other cars have it. I'll show you. It's really good. Not only, when sometimes the sun is so glaring out there, where you get the trucks ahead with maps, and you just get to catch that glare right, and it just blinds you. They have these extensions, okay, that extend out from your visors. So those are good things to have. Also, when you're looking for vehicles, you want to look for a safety vehicle. A good one, I'm in Toyotas. I have both Toyotas. Before they had Nissans. They have 6-position airbags. Now they go into 10-position with side airbag curtains, which is on the top here. Okay, and that covers your head and neck area, your upper extremities, right? And the curtain drops down, and that shields you. And also you have what they call airbags. Airbags been around since the year 2000, okay? It's not really poisonous gases. It's sodium azide, which helps produce nitrogen, which produces 80% of the air we breathe today. So that's that myth about poison. Become toxic when it mixes with metals, and that's what happens when you're in a vehicle accident and you do come in contact with that. It could be then become toxic, but it does keep you safe in the vehicle. All right, it inflates within a tenth of a second because inside your grill you have sensors, and they sense 8 mile an hour impact. All right. So, and always make sure you keep steady pressure on your brake pedal with ABS brake. Do not pump it. You defeat the ABS system. It has a self-bulb check up to 8 miles per hour. If it's still on after 8 miles per hour on your dashboard, check with your dealership, okay? But they do have 4-wheel sensors, and when a sensor senses a lockup, it sends a message to the hydraulic control module. This module is the brains of the ABS system. That in turn sends another message to the hydraulic control unit, which equalizes that pressure in that wheel of wheels. It works good on loose gravel surfaces, wet roads, but it aids for better steering control. All right, so this has been a Bobo safety tip. I hope you enjoyed it for the last 12 minutes, and I hope to save some lives out here in Florida and all over, whoever might be watching. All right, all my peeps. All right, now let's get back to my peeps. What's going on? 1995, driver's airbags were mandatory. Not really, my friend. Not really. It wasn't mandatory at all. Nothing's mandatory. It didn't start putting into cars. They started trickling in 2000. I had an 02 car, and then I had it. Some other 02 cars didn't have it. My Trailblazer had it. It was standard on that car, but some cars didn't. They started experimenting, but it didn't get in there into, the early 2000s, but now it's all standard since 06. Now you have Mercedes has come out with a lot of cool things too to alert you if you're dozing off, and a little punching bag hits you. No, I'm kidding. But there's a warning system. If your head tilts so many degrees, and they have a warning system that goes off to alert you that if you're falling asleep, which I call DWD, driving while drowsy. And it is a law in New Jersey. There are laws throughout the country, but DWD. If you're getting roadhead, yeah, right. This guy goes off on tangents. I'm sorry. I'm very passionate about my driver's safety. I want to save my peeps out there. I don't want to hear about any vehicle accidents that claim the life of anybody, but especially my stern peeps, you know, really. Oh, you're welcome. You're welcome. DWD, yeah, drive more drowsy. Yeah. That ain't no hot rod magazine, pal. Yeah. What's going on? Hey, Robert from South Carolina or Southern California. Left my ass off. Yeah. Bobo, you're the best. Thank you, man. Good job, dude. Thank you. It's all off the top of my head. Yeah, you know, script here. I do, I paraphrase all my classes, you know, go around, I look at the book, and I got, like I said, over 30 years of teaching, so I know what I'm doing. And I'm good at what I do. I take kids from, you know, driving age, and I'll turn them into good drivers for you. Please don't send them to driving schools because they cancel on bad days. At least in New York, it used to drive me insane when a school would cancel. Oh, it's snow out. Well, you know what? Your kid has to drive in the snow. And I had more business from people that came to my class and said, you know what, Bobo, you're right. You know, in the snow and everything, I wanted my kids to be out there with you so they get the proper defensive driving. Because a lot of schools, they would cancel heavy rain and snow. I go, well, what are you going to do when it's heavy rain and snow? You're going to, you know, say goodbye to your kid, and you might not see them again, you know. So I take them in parking lots with the snow and the ice, you know, now in Florida, but, you know, I show them how to compensate, how to turn the wheel and braking and all that. So, you know, that's what they need to do. So if you are teaching your child, make sure you do that. Take a parking lot and take them out on the worst days ever. Take them out on ice and snow. You want to be able to have a mindset that they know what to do when they're behind the wheel, all right? And also with an airbag, let me tell you this before I forget, all right? And then I'll get to some of your questions. Position, okay? So it's 9 o'clock, your left hand, and then 3 o'clock, your right hand on the outside.